The Commonwealth of Virginia, Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin, he continues to be stonewalled by the state's far-left machine as he stands up to the failing Biden agenda. Here to explain more, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin is with us. First, I want to applaud you. We have laws on the books, 18 U.S.C. 1507, that prohibits people from intimidating and harassing judges, and a lot of Supreme Court justices now live in the Commonwealth, Northern Virginia, and you have been urging the Democrats in the Commonwealth to support you, to protect them, and they're not going along. Why not?
Well, Sean, first, thanks for having me. And Virginians elected me last November to go to work, and we went to work right on day one. We've had an incredibly strong legislative session, getting parents reestablished to make decisions about masks on their children and with explicit materials in schools to get them out of their kids' curriculum. And we just signed a budget today that lowered taxes by $4 billion and funds $400 million into law enforcement. And oh, by the way, we'll have the largest education budget in the history of Virginia. And we're promoting school choice with tax credits and with lab schools. So we've had a great first 5 months, but I am really frustrated that the amendment that I sent down to copy the federal statute that U.S. Attorney General Garland will not enforce to keep our justices safe. People should not be allowed to picket and protest in front of our U.S. Supreme Court justices and try to influence them. And that's exactly what that law says. It's punishable with up to a year in prison. I want that law in Virginia. I couldn't get it most recently, but I'm going to keep trying, and we're going to get that law to keep our justices safe.
We were able to stop an assassination plot against Justice Kavanaugh. We now know the doxing of every justice has taken place. In the case of Amy Coney Barrett, these people are giving out the exact school where her children go. They're telling people what church she goes to and when she goes to church. That, to me, is beyond intimidation and harassment. It is a direct threat to their safety and, of course, a threat to the judiciary at large. You can't get Democrats to support that?
We can't get Democrats to support that. And I'll tell you, Sean, we're doing everything we can with our state police and with local law enforcement. And Governor Hogan and I watched what happened with that assassination attempt on Justice Kavanaugh and have gone to work again to implore U.S. Attorney General Garland to enforce the law. But we've got ample resources parked right outside of our justices' homes to make sure that they're safe. I speak to them frequently. I'm 100% focused on keeping them safe, and this is paramount in our administration. And without the help from Democrats in the Senate and the House in Virginia, we can still do so much to keep our justices safe. But I'm going to send that bill back down, and Virginia will at one point incorporate in its code these exact same laws.
So Joe Biden will address the country tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern time, so he's scheduled to talk about gas prices. I'm sure he'll talk about, once again, tapping the strategic petroleum reserves and maybe eliminate the national gas tax. I believe for him it would be a gimmick, because I think the minute the election is over, they'll institute the tax again, regardless of the price of gasoline. But you're doing it in a way to really help the people of Virginia. You don't have an election coming up, but people now paying $5, $6 a gallon for gasoline. Add that to a 41-year high of inflation. Everything we buy and every store we go to is costing us a fortune, and the average family cannot afford this economy of Joe Biden. Will it work?
Sean, they can't. Everywhere I go, all I hear is, Governor, help us. Inflation is the silent thief stealing our hard-earned money. That's why I'm so proud of this budget we signed today, a $4 billion tax cut for Virginians, 4 times larger than any tax cut ever voted for in Virginia. And we're going to see this immediately impact Virginians with $1,100 of tax cuts for the typical Virginia family in year one. That doesn't come close to overcoming this Biden economy, which is just driving inflation beyond Virginians and Americans' capabilities to pay for it. But as a governor that was sent here to get things done, when we can lower taxes and we can fund law enforcement and we can, in fact, deliver new jobs with companies like Boeing and Raytheon and Lego moving to Virginia to put Virginians who want to work hard in these great jobs, we've had a great first 5 months, and I am proud of what we've done, but we've got a lot more to do.
And I got to give you credit, too. You did restore school choice in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Well done, Governor Glenn Youngkin. Thank you for being with us. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.